G'day guys, Elongator Caterpillar here and welcome to Banished. Now Banished is a survival game. It starts out with up anywhere from 4 families up. I believe it is just 4 families, and you have to pretty much build a civilization for them to live in. Okay, so I'm not going to really talk about it much at the start, just because I don't want to bore you guys, so we'll get straight into the game. So town name, let's see, Desolation. That sounds pretty good, and the good thing is, well, if I play this map, and you guys like the layout of it, you can actually see, or put in the same scene, sort of like, I guess you could say, I think it's with Minecraft, where you can do that, or there's another game where you can do it. I can't think of that game right now. But anyway, so the terrain type, we've got valleys or mountains. I'm going to stick with valleys. Terrain size, again large, so you've got small, medium, and large. Climate, it's harsh. Disasters are on, starting conditions are hard. I like a game with a bit of a challenge. I've played this game for quite a few hours. Again, I really like games like this where it's a survival game and I wouldn't say you're pitting yourself against it, but it's a real challenge to start off with. There's a lot of things that can go wrong if you don't build houses fast enough. Your citizens can die of frost. If you don't get enough food, they can die of starvation. Disease can ravage throughout your civilization. It's a very interesting. It's a simple concept, but it can be difficult at times, especially when starting out. So, for example, if you're in a bad area, you may just... Okay, let's have a quick scout around. Okay, so where are we? What I'm going to do first, guys, is I'm going to pull up a few little tools. Okay, so we've got these bars here. So this, I'll point out each one individually. I'll just get myself set up, and then I'll continue on and I'll show you guys. So what all these are is... Okay, so we'll start with obviously the map in the bottom left-hand corner. It's nice and easy. So this is... Look, what you want to look for is a river that goes from one edge of the map to the other. Whether it's from left to right, right, up, down, and so on and so forth. So what that then allows you to do is trade with a merchant. So obviously if you just had this pond over here, or this lake, sorry, see how it doesn't go anywhere, it's just a lake, obviously no trader can go through. So here's a good option for a trader eventually down the track. Okay, so that's later on. Now, this is your little, I guess you call it a key, where it tells you all your supplies, like what you have. It's very easy. It tells you what season it is and what year you're in. Now this one here is your children, so it's your adults, students, and children. Okay. If you have a little symbol here like this is where like all your little icons, if people are starving, it comes up here, so on and so forth. It's fairly easy set out. Event log, again, that just records down and tells you what the latest thing was. So if people die, it tells you people die. Okay. Moving on to this one here. This one is, I guess you could say, how you set out who does what. So you're telling how many people you want to be a builder or a farmer, gatherer, so on and so forth. However, to be any of these, you have to have a specialist building. Okay, I'll just quickly show you. So we want, let's just say, a gatherer. So you have to build a gatherer's hut. Now it tells you, so you need 30 pieces of wood and 12 pieces of stone. So first you have to, obviously, like any other resource game, you have to make sure that you have those resources before you can build it. Now with a with a gatherer's hut, you should generally try and build it within an area of trees. What that does, obviously, because they're gathering mushrooms and roots, vegetables, and things like that, obviously that'll make things a lot easier for them to find it in comparison if they went out into the open. Okay, so what I've done is I've just put the building down. Now, as you can see, you can't really see it here because I haven't cleared anything. Okay, so this is what they got to do. They remove 9 trees, build logs, so put those things there, and they can build it. Easy peasy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press play. Okay, so you also need to see up here it says houses. We need some houses. So there are a few houses that you can build. So I'll press play, and the way I do it is fairly sped up. Actually, we'll give them something to do first. Let's get them to Okay, what I'm building here is a stockpile. A stockpile is where they put all their raw resources. So say for example, trees, wood, wood, stone, iron, and things like that. Just the general everyday things that they need. Okay, let's have a bit of a zoom in. I can't zoom any more than that, which is a bit of a shame. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay. Sorry. Now guys, you have to excuse me, I do have a little bit of a cold, so just going to be with me. I apologise. But we'll get there in the end. Okay, so what they've done, obviously they've just cleared it. Okay, so they've got 9 logs, 2 stone, again it's reflection up here. Now, we're going to get them to farm a bit more. We're going to focus on stone. So all these ones here, so that's remove every single resource there is in a set area. So if I do this, they'll clear, see all those little red spots? They'll clear every single one of those spots. Very, very easy. Again, trees, they just focus on the trees, stone, iron. This one here is roads, I believe, referred to pathways and things like that. So we do need a fair bit of stone, and we're going to need some wood. So what I'll do is I'll just get them to clear this entire section. Work with me, not against me. Here we go, they're going to clear that entire section there, and we're going to fast forward time. So you can see they have got houses. I've got to keep remembering to right click rather than to press escape. Okay, so now see here, this is like a little icon to let you know something's gone wrong. So the reserve logs is low, obviously because we're just starting out. That's understandable. So what we're going to have to do now, the main thing we want to focus on when you start playing Banished is getting a houses and foods for your citizens first up. That's one of the most important things. So we're in spring now. So obviously we just come out, if you follow the seasons along, it goes summer, autumn, winter, spring. So we're in spring. Now, winter is the biggest killer, one of the biggest killers for your people. Okay, so before I go any further, see down here, this is now ready to be built. It's got all the requirements, so it's got trees and stone, it's had everything removed. Now up here in your builder section, you can have maximum of 3 people at this stage. So I'm going to put 2 there, I don't think I need 3, and obviously they'll just build it faster. So how much stone we got? 30 at this stage. Okay. So as I was saying before, you need to ensure that you have enough enough houses for you before the winter comes around, because otherwise they'll freeze. And obviously once, especially with such a low population at the start, it's quite hard to recuperate from a loss of lives early on. Obviously, you have a bigger population, people die, yeah, so what, you'll be fine. Okay, so the Gatherer's Hut is now complete. So obviously we have to assign people, you can have up to 4, so I'm going to put 3 in there, just for good measure. That's it, there we go. Okay, so we're going to continue clearing all this. What I'm going to tell them to do as well, so when they're free, just chop or get rid of all these rocks. Okay, and what I've done here is I've also just cleared an area for some houses to be built. So, in terms of houses, you've got 2 types, wooden house, or you've got stone houses. Now, obviously, stone houses says provides a place for citizens to live and eat, store food, and stay warm, provides more warmth than wooden houses. So, I'm assuming with that, it's because stone, there is not as much gap between them. So, what I'm going to do is, again, this is just me, you guys don't have to do it this way, but I always start out by building stone houses. You can upgrade the wooden houses to stone houses. It does cost a little bit more resources, but at the end of the day, you know what, if you want to go for wooden houses just to give your people a place to live, then so be it. So how's our food looking? Okay, so food again, early on your food goes down quite quickly. What you'll notice is once the houses are built, the people take resources from like this storage cut here at the moment, and then they go and put it in the house, and obviously that's where they store it, so that way they don't have to keep going back and forth, things like that. Now they also need firewood as well. There's a little bit of firewood here, so when you build your houses and you've got everyone in a house, you need to start focusing on, okay, do I have enough food for them? And what you do is at this stage there's no real graph that I'm aware of. sort of putting two people in buildings. Now, there's no real graph to show you how much food you're going to need for how many people, or how many workers you need to keep people. What am I trying to say? How many workers you need, yeah, to keep the people hungry. It's sort of, you just sort of, I guess, take it by ear, or whatever it is. You just go. It's a little bit hard, but you get this. So it's a fine balancing act of. I mean, you can always put more people into housing, or sorry, into food and resources and things like that. Okay, so this is awesome. Deforestation is the name of the game, guys. Look, if you're really worried about cutting down forests and things like that, don't worry, because you can actually build foresters' lodges where they pretty much replant all the trees that you cut down. Okay, so now what I've learnt after playing this is the how am I going to say this? I'll show you the inventory. So this is where they put all the stuff. Okay, so one house obviously has a parent and an adult. When the children are of right age, so there's a male and a female here, okay? There's a male and a female here. So there's an 11-year-old female and a 7-year-old male. When they're both around about the 15 years of age mark, around about that, you build a new house and they move into it, and then they end up having little kids when they're at the right age. So as soon as you can, I suggest, like, obviously if you want to increase your population, then you just build a house, well, as soon as it says. So there's no one here, so when they have kids, and there are other children that match their age, so autumn, we're obviously winter, do I have enough? Come on. Okay, so see this, obviously that means they're cold. Okay, if you didn't know that, don't stress, guys. It's not worth losing hair over. So let's see. So they haven't got any firewood. Now this is the tricky part here, guys, because so these people are now cold, but they go to their houses to keep warm. So I mean, the main thing is, as long as you've got a house or somewhere for them to warm up, I don't think it's going to be that bad. It should be alright. Getting that stone, which is good. I can start putting it over here. I said start putting it over here, come on, over here. Well, so what are they doing? What's this person thinking? Oh, here we go. He's working. Good on him. Good on him. Okay, so his health is pretty good, his happiness is pretty good. He's working. What's he got in his inventory? Just 6 stone. Cool. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build... Oh, that's weird. Oh well. Deforestation, guys. Like I said, deforestation. You know, some people would say, oh, you don't need that many trees at the start. But, you know what? It's all got to cut down. Okay, so a woodcutter is a person that makes firewood. Firewood is very, very important. See, because of being winter, trees are royal Rastafaris. If you don't know what royal Rastafaris are, wood can be your best friend sometimes. Okay, I haven't got any building yet, so I'll just get 2 builders onto that. Then, as soon as this one over here is built, put a person into that, start getting firewood up and going. So we've got plenty of wood at the moment. Not a whole heap of stone, but there's a little bit more around. There's a heap over here. That there. That's actually iron. That's what you need to build a house. Well, we need about 10. It's 10 iron. Okay, so now you notice that all this is gone. Oh, sorry, all the little icons showing the house is gone. So there, that means everyone has obviously got a house. Click on it, check and see. Yep, so 7 and 8, okay, 0, 9, 8, 9, 6, 1, 13, okay. So, what was it? It was a woodcutter. Now, in this building, you can set the limit of how much you want it to be, like how much wood you want it to cut. Okay, so pop that there, set the limit, say 5. I'll give it a fair bit of time to cut things. So, that's about it for the moment there, guys. So what's going to happen is they'll just happily start working their busy little bodies off, and then when they get enough firewood, they'll store it in here. I think it's just before. Yeah, I'll mention the storage barn, guys. So the storage barn is where they put all their materials and things like that, instead of being in that storage wagon. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just matching it up so you can see that green line at the top of the building there. That's just where the footpath is going to be. It's a good idea to keep that there. Okay, so we're going to build this. So we don't need to build. So the builders are specific for actually physically building. So once all the resources are here, then they go and build it. You don't need a builder as it is, like as the building is at the moment. You don't need to assign any workers as the builder until all the resources are there. Otherwise that just takes away from other things. So for example, you may not have as many people cutting down trees and collecting things like that for you. So once this is complete, I'll show you what to do with this storage wagon. Okay, so that's now complete. We've got to remove, we cancel the building, I think it was. Now where's that button? Yeah, okay, so remove structure. So we'll do that, and then what they do is they transfer everything from there into here. Okay, so this barn literally stores all the food, materials and things like that. While the holding yard obviously is all the the stockpile is all the raw materials. Alright then guys, so on that note there, I'm going to leave this episode here. So if you guys have any comments, questions, queries, anything like that for me, please leave it in the section below. But until next time guys, be safe and I'll see you then.